Hey guys, I'm SKV and you're watching SKV Plays On, and welcome to another video of Dauntless. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you like it a bit more, please do subscribe to the channel. And without further ado, let me get straight to the point. This video is about my Chainblade build and how I use this particular build for my Escalation runs a lot. But I thought I'll share it with you guys, and hopefully you guys will like the build. And for those of you who don't have some of the armor parts, I do have another build which is kind of very similar to this build, just another variant of it without using the particular exotic helmet. This is the build I'm using right now currently for my Escalation runs, where I pretty much have the Skullforge exotic helmet. And this exotic helmet, or any exotic helmets and weapons, if you want it, if you're a new player, you have to be able to do the heroic patrols or heroic plus. Anything which is a hunt above threat level 13 plus threat level. If the hunt is above 13 plus, that means you're doing a heroic patrol or heroic hunt or heroic plus, so you have a high chance of getting exotic schematics. But here's a better way of getting exotic schematics. You can do the runs solo if you can handle it. But if you're not able to handle it and want a team, make sure the team has like all of the exotic weapons and helmets. Because if your teammates have all the exotic weapons and helmets, that means you have a higher chance of getting those exotic drops. If the team does not have it, or if the team also is kind of grinding for exotic weapons and helmets, then the drop chance is going to be shared between the team players. But if you are with a team who's already got all of it and who's already boasting it off, then probably you have a higher chance. Whoever doesn't have it, they'll have a higher chance of getting the drops as long as the others have it. Because exotic weapons and exotic helmet schematics do not drop for those players who already have it. So that's how it works. That way you who do not have it will have a higher chance if your teammates already have it in the first place. But just make sure your teammates have all of it so that you have a higher chance of getting any of the random exotic schematics. If you get lucky with the Skullforge, use this particular build and have fun with this build. Pretty much I have Conduit, Cunning, Iceborne, Overpowered Rage, you already know it. And of course 1+3 Discipline. If you're a new player and you don't know where to get the +3 Discipline, well, uno momento, I'll let you know where to go. You do have to go to that particular store in front of me, which has that crazy skull kind of a thing. This is Lady Luck over here. This NPC has a store who will give you the Discipline cell if you want it. But to get it, you need 150 steel marks, as you can see. Steel marks are something like currency in the game which you can earn per week by doing trials. Trials is another type of hunting mode in this game where you do the normal difficulty trials and the Dauntless level difficulty trials. Normal is the one that you need to do to get the steel marks. You get the steel marks from the normal one. The Dauntless level difficulty gives you the gilded marks, which is the gold color marks. But what you need is the silver or the steel marks. And per week you get only 300 that you can earn. Because per week you'll get one behemoth for the trial and you'll be able to do it. And you'll be having 1 week of time to be able to get that particular 300 steel marks. Once you get the 300 steel marks, go to Lady Luck here, go to the store. Spend 150 on this and 150 on Berserker if you want, or just go crazy and spend all 300 on 2 of the cells over here. And once you have the Discipline cell, just make this build. And also once you have the Skullforge, hopefully you get lucky with the exotic drops and get the Skullforge and you can make the build. For those of you who don't have that particular helmet, just go and do this build. I made a build without that particular helmet. Pretty much uses the Boreas full armor set. Also you can use Rezakiri helmet also instead of the Boreas, but You'll be losing stamina in this one because you won't have the +3 conditioning from the helmet. But you will be having all the other skills at +6. Which means Conduit +6, Cunning, Discipline, Iceborne, Overpowered and Rage. All at +6. This is the build. And right now I'm going to be doing the hunts using this build. All these 3 builds I'll be using, and I'll be doing a hunt against a heroic behemoth, which is a particular Mr. Winterhorn's Crave. And right now I'm doing a hunt of Winterhorn's Crave using the one which has all the skills at +6, but because of this I am losing conditioning, which is supposed to be stamina regeneration. And those of you who are a Chainblade user, you already know that stamina is very important for Chainblades. I'll be using the one without the conditioning now, which means I'm using the build without conditioning, but it has all the other skills at +6. Of course, this is a build for the Hellion Chainblades, and the Hellion Chainblades I'm using Reaper's Dance Special. If you're a new player, here's a good tip. If you're a new player and wondering which weapon to go for Chainblades. Chainblades definitely have more chances for you to dodge, more chances for you to backflip whenever a behemoth is about to attack you. You have more chances of being safe and also dealing a lot of damage. And this particular special you'll actually unlock within the first few hunts of using the Chainblade, because you'll get a easy amount of ranks up at the beginning when you're using the Chainblades, and you'll unlock that special. Once you unlock it, pretty much you're golden. Now we're going with a build without the conditioning, which means you'll see that I lose a lot of stamina during this gameplay. And even though I lose a lot of stamina, I will be using the heavy attack, which consumes a lot of stamina. The heavy attack is the first combo which does a horizontal Chainblade spinning attack. A horizontal Chainblade spinning attack on the ground, which means it uses up a lot of stamina because of that. So right now let's see if I can get a decent time. And of course I'm not using any potions, you already know. I do not use the potions whenever I'm doing a build, a weapon build. I try not to use potions so that I get a decent time. But looking at the spot where this particular behemoth is at, I think I'll be losing at least 40 seconds or 50 seconds just to get to it. Here we go. This is a build without the particular conditioning +3 and without the Skullforge helmet. I do not have the exotic helmet. See how easily you can dodge? And you can also get interrupts on it, because you have that fraction of a second type of a you can even stack up the damage. And that's it. That was the first build which I used, of course. No stamina regeneration, no exotic helmet. I still got a 2 minute 18 seconds. Wow, 2 minute 18 seconds? Even after running around the island so much? Huh. Okay, that was the one without the stamina regen, and right now I'm going to be using the one with stamina regen. But to be honest, this particular build actually works out even for hammer. If you want to use it for a hammer, you can try it out. but it will be a bit slow doing the damage. But since hammers don't really need anything related to stamina or stamina regeneration, their combos are not stamina dependent, so you could definitely use this build for a Hellion hammer as well. And I'll tell you why this had a decent amount of damage. It's because all of the skills are at +6, which means my crit also got a big boost because of discipline being at +6. My other builds don't have discipline at +6 and it's always at +3. But right now I'm gonna be using this particular build, which has a full Boreas armor set that I'm using, and I'm going up against Heroic Winterhorn Scrave. And because I have a full set, I really have a good amount of ice resistance. If I go with this against a Hellion itself, look at the negative fire resistance I have. Probably not a good idea to use this against a fire type. But yeah, this one I'm going to be using, which gives me +3 conditioning. Only thing I'm losing is +3 cunning, which shouldn't matter too much, but I would say +3 cunning, if you want, you can replace it with any attack speed related technique cell. It really helps. +3 cunning is not really that great on its own, but +6 cunning definitely helps if you have a maxed out +6 cunning. Now then, we are going with this particular armor set, which has the conditioning, so that I have +15 stamina regen, which means I should get a decent amount of fast stamina regen, and I don't have to worry about dodging as much as I want. Well, I couldn't dodge that one, but then again, who can dodge that particular ram when it wants to ram something? Anyways, here we go. I did get a 218 on the previous hunt. That's because I did a decent amount of dodges correctly. I did not get hit too many times, and I still kept doing a lot of damage on it. Oh, it's in the same place again. Well, anyways, this is going to waste another few seconds again, but let's see if I can get a decent time from the previous one, because this one doesn't have +6 cunning. It has +3 cunning and +3 conditioning. Conditioning will definitely help me out. Okay, need that attack speed. I got hit already. No! And you can see the ice resistance I get. The ice resistance I have on this thing is pretty good. But I'm not doing so great this time. Wow, I'm getting really beaten up in this one. There we go. And I got a rare drop, yellow golden orb. That's probably a color or dye. A color palette which I got. Sagacity, I think. But yeah, I kinda didn't do so well with this one. Even though I had so many options to dodge, I kinda ended up getting beaten up in the first few hits itself, I kinda lost the amount of damage I could deal towards the behemoth. But yeah, you can see without potions again, it does a lot of damage. Any build that can do damage good enough to kind of take out the behemoth within 3 minutes and without potions, I think it's a good build. And this one's pretty much the same build. You saw gameplay with let me say without conditioning and without the Skullforge exotic helmet. Then you saw a build with conditioning and without the exotic helmet. Now you're going to see a build without conditioning but with the particular Skullforge exotic helmet. This is the build I use actually for my escalation runs, and the main reason why I'm using this build is I pretty much don't have to worry about stamina for 1, and it does a decent amount of damage for 2, and for the third point, this particular build has resistances in such a way that I don't have to worry about negative elemental resistances. The exotic helmet is a fire type of helmet which gives me plus 25 fire resistance but negative 25 ice resistance. To counter that, I have the boots, which is the Boreas Iceborne related boots, where I get 25 ice resistance and negative 25 fire resistance, which means this thing cancels out this one cancels out this one. And the same thing goes for the chest and arm, where I'm using a shroud chest and a arm is from the Rezakiri, and pretty much they cancel out each other. And all in all, I do have like a resistance level of being neutral. I pretty much have a neutral resistance right now. I don't have any negative elemental resistances because of this build. And to top it off, I'm pretty good against ice behemoths because of the weapon. And this particular weapon negative 40 does not actually count towards the resistance. It only counts towards the power. And right now I'm going up against the same Winterhorn Scrave again. But you guys will see what this particular helmet can do without even having the conditioning. But yeah, this whole build is for the escalation, I would say. I made this build for the escalation. It's working out great. If you want, you can try this out. Also, there's another variant. If you want to switch it out with the Rezakiri chest piece, you can do that. But in this one, you'll probably have one negative element for sure. But in this one, you don't have a negative elemental resistance. So I would suggest go for this build. And of course, you should know that the first run went really well. I wasn't expecting to get a 218. So don't go on the time, okay? Don't go based on the time that I got. It's because on the first run I was really cautious and I did not get hit that many times. So I don't know how many times I'll get hit in this one. But don't go on the timer or the time of the run. Go on the build. The build is pretty good. You can use it for your escalation runs also. And you can use the same build even for anyone who's trying to farm exotic weapons and exotic helmets. So it really works out. Right now I have to go straight ahead because the behemoth is all the way over there towards where I'm running. Okay, here we go. Already with that attack every time. What? No, 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 no. This is what happens if I have neutral resistance. I did not have the full Iceborne set or the full Dreadfrost Boreas set, so I got hit. Oh, he made me lose my stack. Ah, man. This was a bad run, nonetheless. But check out the time. Please be a good time. Oh wait, I told you not to go based off of the time. Yeah, don't go based off of the time. I got killed because I was too, well, not cautious. I got too overconfident at some point. But yeah, the build is pretty good. You can use this build for escalation and it works out great. Hopefully you guys enjoy this build, and for those of you who are new to the game, if you're wondering which particular weapon to use, I would definitely suggest trying out the chain blades at the beginning so that you get a better understanding of how the stamina works and how much you need to concentrate on stamina being consumed whenever you use combos on some weapons. Chain blades are the best ones, for example, to let new players know how much stamina gets consumed, and you'll actually get used to how much you need to keep an eye on the stamina and the stamina consumption. Other than that, also again, for any new player who's trying to farm for exotic weapons or helmets, make sure you go with a team who have all the exotic weapon schematics and helmet schematics. Make sure they already have all of it. That way you who do not have it have a better chance of getting those exotic weapon drops or exotic weapon and helmet schematic drops. So yeah, do make sure to go to anything above level 13 threat level. I would suggest anything above 13 threat level is going to be the place where you need to hunt, and you'll have a better chance for exotic weapons and helmet. But just in general, it's a heroic and heroic plus patrol or heroic and heroic plus hunts that you need to do, and you'll be able to get a good chance of those exotic weapons. Anything below heroic, you're not gonna get anything exotic at all. But yeah, hopefully you do get this, and once you get this particular Skullforge, make sure you use this build, or if you want to use it, you use it. I just wanted to share my build with you guys. Hopefully this helps out even for the players who are ranking up without the particular exotic helmet. I did make the same build, but turns out this one went way overboard with the damage, so this one could work out for you guys, but you probably might want to see something that has stamina related advantages. This one definitely has no advantage when it comes to stamina, and stamina for chain blades is needed for the combos, for the dodges, and also for the heavy attacks, so you'll lose a lot of stamina. So keep in mind what combo you're used to and what combo kind of helps you out, and of course use this build if you want to. Even in the escalation, you can actually use this particular weapon, Hellion weapon. You don't have to be stuck with chain blades for this build. You can use it with a sword, Hellion sword, Hellion axe, hammer, warpike, strikers and chain blades are what I would say prioritize for this build. Then maybe try it out with warpike and sword. Axe and hammer are going to be really slow, so you may want to depend more on your activation of the lantern if in case you're going for some good amount of attack speed. But anyways, that's about it. Thank you for watching this video, and hopefully you guys enjoy it and also enjoy the build. As always, you guys keep smiling, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, a sayonara, a tata, a see you, and a bye bye. I'm done for the video. I'll see you guys next time. See ya.